Libyan officials are warning the death toll from flooding in Derna could hit 20,000. You heard that number right, 20,000 potentially. Entire city blocks were just swept away last weekend when heavy rain from a Mediterranean storm caused 2 dams to collapse. Libyan health officials tell the Associated Press at least 5,500 people are confirmed dead and 9,000 are still missing. Joining us now with the latest from Libya is Kasim Mahjoub. He's a civil engineer with the emergency management team. And we appreciate you spending a bit of your time with us right now. And we should note, you're not in Derna, but where you are, Bayda is another impacted city. So just update us. What's happening where you are?
Of course, the situation is very far than Derna, but we are very close to the city nature. The casualties here in Bayda are not over than 150 people, but in Derna, the number now are rising. We're about to reach 6,000 casualties, people that we found right now, and we still have the number of missing people is still at the level of 11,000 people. The good news that came up after 5 days from the disaster that we got the list of 500 people found alive under the destruction and in the sea after the disaster came up with the international rescue teams.
Okay, and I do want to ask about what's happening in Derna. I know you're a civil engineer. That the city's mayor said the dam there hadn't been maintained since 2008. Tell us what kind of shape it was in and why crucial infrastructure maintenance, in your view, hadn't taken place.
I think the real maintenance happened before 2008. 2008, that the situation would be good, but eventually, even if the dam was in a good shape, this kind of dams, this type of dams, is not suitable for this amount of water that came up to it. So I'm not blaming anyone, but blaming the maintenance, the lack of maintenance, or the government. But I'm only blaming the people the decision makers in Derna that didn't order anyone to evacuate their houses. Even me on Twitter, 3 or 4 days before the disaster, I wrote a tweet about evacuating a lot of places in Derna that would be much safer. In July, I was on a visit to the dam. The cracks and the failure showed by the naked eye. You didn't have even to measure it. So the situation were bad, but the officials didn't care a lot about the numbers and the expectation of high rainfall amounts. The problem is that the dam died is not suitable. So in 2010, 2011, the Libyan government ordered to try to build a new one in the same older place of the one who already collapsed. But after 2011, most of the contracts being cancelled, and after that, most of the contracts categorized as financial corruption, unfortunately. Signed, paid, but nothing on the ground.
It's really eye-opening stuff, Kasim. You speak about having visited one of the damaged dams a few months ago, and you could see the cracks. So surely this was expected. There's corruption. There's also a fractured government. I'm wondering if you have faith in the leaders where this has taken place, that they have what it takes to help those in need, and if this is a real wake-up call for the entire country, that its infrastructure just isn't up to where it should be.
That is what we are aiming to. This should be a really heard, but a wake-up call should do the job to unite the country again. In Derna, that we see a lot of even military groups that were fighting in Tripoli in 2020. They're hand-to-hand today. In a lot of pictures, they're working together at the same spot for the same goal. And of course, for the infrastructure, a lot of locations in Libya need to take into place a lot of maintenance, a lot of procedures, but unfortunately, till now, the two governments are not, taking the technical side of every note, of every report, of every research into a serious place. Unfortunately, I hope this will be a very benefit to our country. It's really hurts, and there is really hurt this thing that we should learn, that we should give the technical people the place and make their sounds heard.
Yeah, no, that's a great message. And just in our last few seconds, Kasim, are your family and loved ones safe and secure?
Alhamdulillah, yes, because I was working in Derna only 1 week ago before the disaster. I finished my contract there and come back to Al Bayda. So a lot of my neighbors, a lot of my friends, and part of my family, we lost them in Derna. But it is what it is. I hope that.
Wow. Well, yeah, I know this is a very difficult time for you and many people there. I really appreciate you spending some moments giving us that really important update, Kasim Mahjoub. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron.